This is downtown Las Vegas. And this is the small town of Nelson, Nevada. Same state, same climate, and only 30 miles apart. But on average, Las Vegas is 7 degrees warmer than its rural counterpart. This is called the urban heat island effect, and it's playing out in cities all over the country. Here's the basic idea. Black pavement absorbs and holds a lot of heat. Tall buildings cause city air to stagnate and warm up instead of mixing. Tailpipes, factories, and houses leak out hot exhaust and more heat. And a city without a lot of tree cover doesn't get the shade and moisture that might help it cool down. Put that all together and you get a place that's several degrees warmer than its neighbors.
Cities are getting hotter about twice as fast as their suburban or rural hinterland.
More than half of Americans live in cities, and those few degrees and more frequent heat waves caused by climate change can be deadly. This is especially true for fence-line communities, which are typically low-income neighborhoods of color that border heavy industry. They become hotspots within urban heat islands. These areas often lack green spaces, and residents might have a harder time affording air conditioning. This leaves those neighborhoods more vulnerable to heat waves. Take the 1995 Chicago heat wave. Over the course of a week, temperatures spiked into the hundreds. More than 700 people died, many of whom were low-income or elderly residents living in the urban core. Those neighborhoods were 2 to 4 degrees warmer than the rest of the region. There are, however, some things we can do to address the urban heat island effect. Brighter streets and roofs reflect light and absorb less heat. Plants and trees provide shade and moisture that cools down the air. And designing a city with good walking, biking, and transit options means fewer tailpipes to heat up the roads. Last year, New York City launched a huge effort to cool down. The city sees more than 100 heat-related deaths every year. Many of those deaths are in low-income neighborhoods and communities of color. So the city is investing $106 million into addressing the public health threat. And they're focusing on heat-vulnerable, industry-heavy neighborhoods like Hunts Point in the South Bronx. They're installing green roofs and planting trees on the streets. And they'll start working with community-based organizations to send volunteers and health workers to check in on New Yorkers who are the most at risk during heat waves.
We want to reach the most vulnerable people within the community. Seniors, people that might be up on the 11th or 12th floor of high-rise buildings, people without air conditioning, people where there might be a language barrier.
And here's the cool thing. A lot of these solutions also help fight climate change.
Cities are our last best hope in the war against climate change. And urban heat islands are the way to motivate us.
We live in a warming world, and some places are warming a lot faster than others. So as we work to combat climate change, cooling down our cities, where a lot of us live, could be an important place to start.
Thanks for watching, and if you want to learn more about the hottest neighborhoods in New York City, check out my reporting at grist.org.